What's up, guys? Mafia Mental here, and today we're going to be reacting to depression in anime. It's my boy Mystic Iceman. Make sure you go check him out. Before we get started, I want you guys to hit that like button, I want you to subscribe, and turn on notifications. That being said, let's get into it.
What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to talk about depression and use anime to give an example of it and how they dealt with it. As most of you know, depression is something that a lot of people go through due to adversities or just inconveniences in their lifetime. Depression can be caused by a lot of things, and it can cause a lot of things to happen to a person. The definition of depression is a mood or disorder that causes a persistent feeling of sadness or loss of interest. I don't know about you guys, but I've been through this a few times in my lifetime. Maybe not at the moment, but we're coming off of depression right now as we speak. We're not going to get into that. So I'm going to give 3 examples of this in anime in general, and we'll talk about how they handled it in the show. Okay, the first example we're going to talk about is from the anime The Rising of a Shield Hero. Naofumi was accused of doing something despicable to the princess of the new land that he had been summoned to. His very first night he was there, he was set up and lied on by this princess, who used that as a way to take all of his gold and his armor that was given him by the king and give it to the spirit hero, which is the one she liked. Instead of living in sadness and instead of wallowing in his own self-pity, he ended up portraying that monster that they made him out to be. He decided to embrace it and play the part to a certain extent. He declared he was innocent, but he knew that no one would take his word for it over the princess. So instead, he decided to move forward. It was apparent, though, that he carried this hate that the people had for him throughout the entirety of the show. They hated him just for being the shield hero, and then on top of the accusations that the princess gave to him. And at all times, he seemed that he was unaffected by it, but you could tell through certain scenes that they had inside the show that he still carried this on his chest, and he didn't want the people to hate him as much as they did. He couldn't understand why they hated him, and they really hated him for no reason. And him going through this form of depression is how that affected how he approached people and how he felt about the people of that world right off the bat. Eventually, he gained comrades in the form of Raphtalia and Philo and even the little princess Melty, I think her name was. He gained them as companions, and life seemed not to be so bad. He understood that there were people out there that didn't see him as a monster and saw him as a good person. For the actual good person that he was, he went out of his way to help people. And in doing that, also, he helped people to show them that I'm not what people say I am. So that's how he basically got out of his depression that he was thrown into from the beginning of the show.
Now I know I've been seeing these memes of how much they hate the redheaded girl. I don't know her name, but now I understand why I've been seeing all those. If I actually watched the show, I'd probably make some memes with that myself. I ain't gonna lie. But anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
All right, next we're gonna talk about the anime Kaze no Stigma, or Stigma of the Wind, whichever one you prefer. Kazuma was thrown away by his family, the Kanagis, because he didn't have their ability to wield fire. His own parents let him be sent away, and his father even resented him for something he had no control over at his birth. This set Kazuma in a sadness and anger type mindset that drove him to claim a power by any means necessary. He eventually appealed to the wind spirits, and they gave him the power of wind, which was so strong that even some of his fiery family members couldn't really hold him. They couldn't stop him. He was unstoppable, and he was so strong that the head of the family was like, okay, we need to appeal and form a union between him and his daughter. After gaining the respect of the Kanagi family, we saw that Kazuma was no longer angry at them or in the state of depression where he felt bad about not having the power that they had. We saw him he basically played the part of jerk very well from the beginning of the show, and that's That's what he did to cope with that depression that he was in. Okay, next up we have Sasuke Uchiha. Now I know I'm going mainstream with this one, but Sasuke Uchiha from the show Naruto was depressed for literally majority of the show because his parents, his family, everybody was killed and taken from him right from the get-go. From the very beginning of the show, we learned about the fate of the Uchiha clan, the massacre that took place because Itachi Uchiha took it upon himself to cleanse everybody's problems that was the Uchiha clan. And this put Sasuke in a position where now he has to hate one of the people on the planet that he loved more than anybody. And he has to get revenge. And we see Sasuke sad and depressed. He's quiet all the time. He's always to himself thinking about how he can obtain the power that he needs to get back for his family. And Itachi wants him to harness that hatred and one day take his life, so that he knows that Sasuke is strong enough to basically brave anything that the world can throw at him. He wants his brother to get strong enough to defeat him. And his way of going about it definitely was not the best because this put Sasuke feeling alone. He felt more alone than Naruto did. You know.
I heard, and actually I read, I don't know if what I read was true, man's put Sasuke in that genjutsu of his family dying 500,000 times. I was like, bruh, you don't think 100K would have been enough? First of all, I would have got bored of this shit. I'm being honest. I'm like, bruh, after 100 times, I would have been like, bruh, this just extra. Probably even before then, like, this just extra, bro. Like, I already hate you enough, and you just psychologically damaging me at this point. Like, bro, like, I'm gonna be thinking about this shit in my dreams, bro. That. But I don't know, man. It was his way of doing stuff, so I guess he wanted to make sure. He wanted to make sure Sasuke was gonna come after him. But anyway,
he got to experience having his family. Naruto never did. Naruto never had his family around, but Sasuke had the experience of having his family and having them taken away from him, and that put him in a serious decline in mental health. And when he did eventually leave the Leaf Village, that didn't make his problems better. The only thing that made his problems better was when he was able to let go of the past and realize that his brother did what he had to do for the greater good of the entirety of the village. Not just for Sasuke, but for everybody. His brother wasn't the villain that he was painted out to be. But once he found that out, he was able to move forward and move on. And eventually, him and Naruto reconcile, and the depression is over. Moral of the story here, guys, is that depression is something that's serious and anybody can go through. I'm not saying that if you're going through a depression right now, one day you're going to have superpowers or you're going to have some type of anime ability that's going to thrust you out of it, bring you to being the best that you can possibly be. But I am saying that you can move forward from it, you can grow from it, learn from it, and you can still be the best that you want. You can be the best thing in your life and everybody else's life around you if you give yourself time to heal. That's going to be all for this video, guys. Thank you for all your support. I really appreciate you. If you're going through anything, if you have any depression, anything like that, you want to talk about it, get at me in the Discord. I would love to talk to you. Get at me in the comment section. Just let me know. Let me know what you guys want to see. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And you guys stay cool. I'll see you guys in the next video. At the moment.
All right. I hope you guys enjoy. Oh, my camera about to die, but hold on. Great video, great detail. What I like about bro in his videos, he goes in depth about the show, the characters, the effects. That's what I like about. He doesn't just talk into a camera. He actually knows what he's talking about. He's giving you summaries, information, all that. I like that, bro. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, make sure to check my boy out, Mystic Iceman. Thank you guys for watching. I want you guys to stay safe, stay positive, and remember, Be mindful.
Yeah, and I'm a real thug. I'ma go to the store and buy a box of hugs. Yeah, talking about that kid juice, yeah. When I get done, I'ma watch some Blues Clues.